Hey guys, how's it going? It's day two of the long weekend, and I haven't been very productive at all. And the weather's crap outside, so I thought I'd vlog about my week. We'd just come off Population Health Week. The teamwork was amazing. We've got some really talented people in mid school. I can tell you that. Everything from the presentation, which was just done so well, and the fact that we bonded. The topic we got was on tobacco control. We were given hypothetical money, $500,000, and we could spend that on anything to help tobacco control industry. So our team split into two groups, and we all saw different community agencies. And my group spoke to the Ministry of Health, and they were very much focused on more downstream interventions. They talked about an incentive program, which sounded really good. Basically, they were giving money to pregnant women to quit smoking. After the meeting, we got together, and I presented our findings from the meeting we had with the ministry. But after a bit more discussion, I came to the realization that with only $500,000, we really to have your bang for your buck, you really should be targeting more upstream measures that target the wider community or policy.
The challenge really is it's a political one. It's mustering the political will to put in place the resources, the legislation, the courage to act in the face of a product that kills 50% of the people who use it, and make the right decisions. Now, that's not straightforward because there's debate within the tobacco control community about what those right decisions might be, but broadly speaking, more tax, more support for people to quit smoking, more innovation around the support for people to quit smoking, making it harder to access cigarettes, continuing to raise awareness about the harms of smoking and where to find help and support to quit smoking, perhaps some product modification.
I'd like to talk about two things that Chris brought up. One is reducing access to cigarettes. So people that live in high deprivation areas are 4 times more likely to smoke cigarettes than those that live in low deprivation areas. And this correlates with the density of tobacco selling outlets, such as bars and dairies and supermarkets, liquor stores, because the tobacco companies know about this and target these susceptible populations.
Because it makes such a large proportion of our total income, we wouldn't be able to support ourselves if we didn't sell cigarettes. Because we make direct profit off the cigarettes, and then because convenience stores are generally more expensive than things like supermarkets, the only reason we're able to sell our other groceries is often because customers who purchase things like cigarettes from dairies will buy other groceries while they're here, and so we make a lot of indirect profit off cigarettes in that way too. There are some cigarettes that we stock in excess because we know there's a particular customer who will always come and buy it. And those people tend to be lower socioeconomic class, usually Māori, Pacific Island, or Asian, specifically Chinese. A strategy that would be useful would be one which helps dairy owners to take tobacco off the shelves, but also maintain their profits and sales. So for example, if you could tell a dairy, hey, why don't you reduce your tobacco sales by 5% in a year, and we'll compensate you for that in some way, shape or form, I think that could be really effective. People would be incentivized to actually reduce sales.
If we're going to cut supply, we'll have to replace it with something much safer. Indeed, research has shown that vapes are 95% safer than normal cigarettes. However, tobacco companies are making the switch from cigarettes to vapes, and they'll do anything for profit. So the Ministry of Health is in the process of determining long-term safety of vapes and trying to establish what sort of regulations need to be in place. However, switching to vapes from cigarettes is not as easy as it seems.
Been smoking quite a while now. I'd say probably around 6 years, 7 years now coming. It's a good way to de-stress myself from some of the work that I do. Not a big vape fan, to be honest. Costly, and the micromanagement of it is too much. Flavors and stuff like that, it's too sweet, and you got different, so many variations to like a vape, and then it's just always like you hear on the news that they kind of blow up in your pocket and in your face and stuff like that. It may or may not work, and the may work is just if they start offering free vapes to the public, subsidized and things like that as well, then possibly that could work, and just curb that little thing for cigarettes, and way to make it very expensive to a point where it becomes like a luxury item to have cigarettes. I don't really have people that's curbed vaping, cigarettes to vaping, like overnight. It might take a few weeks or something like that, but then eventually they always tend to go back to cigarettes. They just don't fill their craving. I think the only way to quit cigarettes is just to go cold. There's no any other way.
Opportunities like this week really makes us kind of consider the wider political, social, economic, cultural climate that Aotearoa exists in and that our patients exist in. And hopefully by considering all of those things, we ultimately become better healthcare professionals.
We're looking for ultimate causes rather than proximate causes. And that as long as we keep that in mind, we can hopefully come up with interventions or treatment plans that would enable us to maybe prevent people from coming in again and again for very easily preventable causes.
This week, for example, is not just about getting everybody to become public health doctors. It's about getting doctors to take on another set of skills in addition to the other skills that they have. So if we can get one message across in medical school to all our graduates, not only should they be professional and critical thinkers and knowledgeable and safe in their practice, but they also need to be armed with a set of population health spectacles.
The individual health is the result of the health of the population. And because it's everyone's problem and not just a single person, it requires the collective effort of everyone to fix it. Where doctors come in is the experience we have at the bottom of the chain. We get to see the result of all the ways the population works or doesn't work. I had seen myself as a single individual who was very limited in the ways I can help. What the population health intensive has shown me is what a group of individuals is capable of. And to know that we can make a difference but choose not to is the very definition of selfishness.
No man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manor of thy friends or of thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee.